In light of George Floyd's killing, black men and women are opening up, sharing stories of having the police called on them or being stopped for no apparent reason. And that's what Calvin Matthews was worried about. He's a health inspector in Minnesota. And one day after George Floyd's death, he felt he needed to proactively call his local police department and ask for an escort before heading out into the field, simply just to do his job. Sergeant Justin Pletcher answered that call, and I caught up with both of them yesterday to talk about their unique experience. Calvin, so it's a day, one day after George Floyd's death. You're working 15 minutes away from Minneapolis, and you felt you needed to call the police for an escort. Why?
So I was doing a routine inspection at a mobile home park. So I decided to call the Anoka County Sheriff's Department non-emergency number, and I gave them my information. Next thing you know, Justin called. I told him that I am black. I do have dreads. I'm calling you in advance just in case a citizen calls you saying some weird black guy's walking around the community. Justin said, "Sir, I'll be there in 5 minutes."
Justin, did you understand Calvin's trepidation?
Absolutely. And I even on the phone, I apologized that he felt this was even necessary, but I understood and I said, I'll be right there.
And so you arrive. Justin, I guess there was this kind of connection between the two of you as soon as he came and showed up.
Less than a minute into our conversation, I could tell this was going to be a good day, and we became friends almost immediately.
Calvin, were you expecting that kind of reaction?
I was not. I was not. I'm a man of color. I've had interaction with police. Some have been good, some have been bad. But Justin saw my bracelet, and it said Omega Sci-Fi. And he said, "Hey, one of my college roommates from college is an Omega." And when I say my expression, I was like, whew. There was a calmness in the air.
Yeah, there's this obvious racial tension going on right now, Justin. And you mentioned that you police black citizens a little differently, and that on the face of it, that might sound a little odd. Can you explain that?
Absolutely. It's not just black citizens I police differently. I try to police everyone as an individual because we aren't all born on first base. You know, we start from different starting lines in life. And it's my job as a police officer not to put people in jail, but to keep them out of jail and to give everybody equal opportunity to succeed in life and to make my community safe.
You know, Calvin, this obviously is a very difficult time. What's your anxiety level like right now?
Well, again, being a man of color, when you get stopped by the police, there's always some anxiety. You never know who you're going to get. Justin's approach was just different. He was able to calm the whole situation, which made me feel at ease.
You know what I find interesting? You know, when you dig down, you find out we have these more similarities than we have differences. You both discovered you have biracial children. You have that in common. Does that kind of inform your interactions with people because you can kind of see both sides?
I mean, for me, absolutely. I mean, being in an interracial marriage and having a biracial son, your eyes are open to things that you wouldn't normally be accustomed to as a white male. And it's important to me that I raise my son with an open mind and an ability to experience and learn about other people so as not to have that ignorance and that fear that seems to perpetuate a lot of America today.
I totally agree with what you said, Justin. Having biracial kids, you want to make sure that they understand that you're there for them. There's going to be differences. Some people may not accept you, but you can't worry about that. You just have to move forward.
How are you planning on talking to your respective kids about race coming out of this?
Well, my daughter, Sydney, who's 16, she's very much into the whole movement. And I explained to her, I'm like, Sydney, this has been going on for years, sadly to say that. But it's very important that they understand that we got to do better than this.
And I think for me, you got to have a frank conversation. You know, my son might be treated differently than I was. And if you tiptoe around it, you can't really solve the problems that affect people of color in this country or in this world for that matter.
And people are afraid to just have an honest conversation with each other. I mean, stop living in fear. I found out that Justin likes Prince. I mean, he's one of my, you love Prince. He's one of my favorite artists as well, but we would have never known that. I mean, he talked to me to get to know me. He didn't interrogate me.
Justin, I'm curious. You know, here you are, a police officer, speaking pretty frankly. As you do this, do you worry about your fellow officers looking at you a little differently for this?
No, I think we need more police officers to speak up. If I'm not on the same side as my community, then I am failing them and I am failing this badge. And any officer who thinks differently should look at doing something else.
How has this happenstance interaction and now friendship, how has it changed you each?
For me, I actually did an inspection the following day. I ran into a white couple in their 70s and they said, "Hey, you're Calvin. We read your Facebook post." I was completely shocked. We sat and we talked for about 15 minutes. Hadn't it not been for Justin's post, those interactions may not have happened.
It reminds you that your voice is important. People need to hear positivity. People need to hear that change is possible, and to not hoard that, but share your experiences with others, because it will spread. Like Calvin said, the next day he's already meeting new people because of what we did together.
Justin, Calvin, thank you so much.